I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this source.
I'm on the opposite side of you with that Utah State game here.
Yeah,
So Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor's on Utah State too. I got to put that on, actually. I don't have any action, but I'll watch it. I need Washington. But what's up, everybody, by the way? Happy Thursday morning. Coming to you live, back-to-back losing days for old Kyle. Getting Washington would help. I guess can't get mad at the Gonzaga under. Obviously, we weren't going to hit that forever, but could have used one more day out of it. That's for sure, because I lost. BYU lost outright. You were right about that. I actually really liked that bet. 5.5 that closed 8 or 8.5 too. I love that bet.
I mean, yeah.
And then what was the other one I lost? Oh, Creighton. I bet Creighton too. So yeah, back-to-back losing days for me. I know Toast is having a good one. Spoon, did I hear you say you went 4-4 today?
I'm sitting 4-4 right now. I'm down a little bit, but it'll all come down to this Utah State game for me.
Yeah, I have a full unit on New Mexico, so I'm gonna. My day will look really good or not. I mean, just average.
Aren't you like 8-3 right now though? Haven't you already clinched a very good day?
Yeah. Yes. Ooh, Stanford ties the game. If Stanford wins, I could be looking at 4+ units. Let's just not get ahead of ourselves. I hate doing this shit.
I don't want to jinx you, dude.
You know what? Don't start.
Real quick, has anyone talked to Trevor? Normally he texts and says he can't make it. I didn't hear from him today. Just want to make sure he's all right.
Yo, if this is like
he tagged me in the Discord.
I was gonna say I heard from him multiple times in the Discord today.
Yeah, but like that was in like the afternoon though. Have we heard recently? Let me see.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh,
I
really?
assumed he was coming.
All right. Well, all right. So he's probably fine then. Usually he answers the text. He didn't answer me, so I didn't want to make a joke about him not showing up, and then turns out he was in a car accident or like something terrible happened, you know. So hopefully he's all right. But yeah,
he texted the group 2 hours ago, or sent a message in the group chat 2 hours, not group chat, Discord 2 hours ago.
Multiple. So maybe he just fell asleep or something. All right, so we already know this first game is going to be Spoon, the man grew up a Vermont basketball fan. He's one of the 7 that grew up a Vermont basketball fan. So Spoon, they're 7.5.
There's a pretty big following of Vermont basketball fans across the country. I think this is a great spot to get Vermont. When they played Maine earlier this season, this line was 14.5, 15.5. We're getting Vermont at -7.5, and this is after they've dealt with some pretty big injuries. TJ Long has missed the last 5 games. That Maine game was the first game that he missed, and he came back for NJIT, came off the bench, was dealing with some ankle stuff, looked pretty healthy, played most of the second half. He's been their leading scorer over the last 2 years. They also had recently lost their starting center, and Noah Barnett. He's now played 4 games in a row, all coming off the bench, getting more minutes in each and every game. I think this team's finally healthy at the right point in the season, and we're getting one of the worst teams in the America East. It's coached by one of the former assistants of Vermont. So you have that little bit of a connection, but I think this line is just so low because of that first game where they only won by 5 points. Missing TJ Long is such a huge score to take out of this offense, especially the first game. They just didn't know what to do. This line should be 14.5 points again. Maybe you could move it down to 10.5, 11.5 on the road. It being 7.5 is just so mispriced. I'm not going to let this one go. 7.5 -105.
Wow, 14.5. That's what you're saying on a neutral.
So 14.5 was the first line in Vermont.
So okay, so 14.5 in Vermont. So okay, yeah. So you're saying it should be about 9.5, 10 at Maine. Got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Toast, any thoughts on this one?
I'm not getting in front of that. I spent like 5 minutes trying because I knew he was going to pick Vermont and was trying to find a reason to bet Maine. I couldn't do it, so I tried. But
all right, let's move on to the next one. And the next game is Penn State. Someone selected this, or did I add this?
I might have selected it just because it was a short slate, so select all the big names possible.
So here's the thing with Michigan. Obviously, I won with them. I had Michigan money line in the Michigan State game, but that really doesn't answer the question. Oh no, I'm sorry. They did cover a number. Never mind. The streak of them not covering a big number as a favorite is over because I'm pretty sure they covered one of these recently. So that's over with. The Michigan not covering numbers is no longer a thing, right?
I don't know.
No, didn't they cover a number right before Michigan State?
Unless I can't remember what the Ohio State number is. So chat, if you could.
The Indiana number, I cashed my Ohio State ticket, so I know I got that one. I think they might have covered Indiana.
No, I think both those games were 14.5, to be honest. Like, I don't think they covered either one. You know what? I can pull it up right now and see what the closing line was. I'm pretty sure they got hooked in both of those. Now, obviously, if you played it right, you probably could have gotten Michigan to -3 net, but minus 13.5 at some point.
Michigan was 11.5 at Nebraska, 16.5 at
16
Ohio State. 15.5 versus Indiana. They didn't cover any of those.
They didn't cover any of those
closing numbers though. So other people might have got better numbers and still
right. You just going by the consensus close is the best way. Yes. So yes, they won against Michigan State. Before that, they had failed to cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. So yeah, they haven't covered these big numbers. You got to go back to January 2nd against USC to find the last time they did. So any thoughts on this one?
It would only be. I'm not going to bet it, but it would only be Penn State for me. I mean, this is obviously. I mean, I'm not trying to make a case that Penn State is good or anything like that, but they have played some of the best teams in the Big Ten. I'm not trying to make a case that means that they're going to keep this game close or anything like that. But you have a Michigan team that's coming off a Penn State game, or sorry, a Michigan State team that obviously was probably their biggest game on their schedule. And then they have Ohio State on deck. Not trying to make a case that Ohio State is some world beater, but I mean, it's a lot better competition than Penn State. For me, I just don't know what Michigan does here. So is it very possible that they come out and run them out of the gym? Absolutely. But they've shown us time and time again that they're really not doing that. So it would only be Penn State. But again, I'm not betting it.
By the way, unrelated, but in the same conference, Toast, your statement that Illinois is one of the best teams in the country right now looked pretty strong today. They beat that. What just happened, Spoon?
Going into half.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a little bit behind it. Switch back.
I saw it. We all saw it. That's why we're like,
he was like a fist bump. All right, Spoon. Any thoughts on this huge number here?
I agree. It's just Penn State or pass here. Michigan coming off a really physical game with Michigan State. I think there's a little bit of a letdown, especially with Ohio State on deck. I don't see any reason to get involved with Penn State right here, or with Michigan right here.
Yeah, I kind of was leaning Michigan, but I'm not. There's no way. I don't even want the logo up.
I was going to say, if you want to bet Michigan, I'm not specifically you, but anybody, I would look at their team total, because if they're going to cover that, I mean, their offense is going to have to be going. So I would look at that too.
Moyne against Wagner. This is a Spoon request game. Spoon. Oh, I actually lost a Moyne bet. I tailed you on a Moyne bet, and that was one of your only losses that day. I remember. So are you going back to the well with this Moyne Are they the Dolphins?
Yes, they're the Dolphins. We're going right back to the well. Wagner's not a very good basketball team. They're coming off a win versus FDU. Took them to overtime in the same building they'll be playing into tomorrow. And Moyne is coming in. I think this is a team that can absolutely walk away with this Wagner game if they're completely healthy. I mentioned it in this last game that some of their beat reporters have been talking about their best player coming back soon. And watching their last game, they talked about him coming back this week. So they have 2 games this week, one game tomorrow and one game on Saturday. So it's going to be one of those 2 days. I'm going to roll the dice. I think this team can beat Wagner by more than a possession without him. And I think with him, this could be a 10-point game. Shiloh is his first name. I'm trying to pull up Lemoyne's ticket real quick. Shiloh Jackson is the player's name. He's missed the last 4 or 5 games. Ankle injury. He's been on the court the last few times. I think he plays tomorrow. I think this number is really short. It's a nice little sell high on Wagner after their second conference win. I don't think they pull off another one.
So you're saying
Sorry.
so you're
Stanford just fouled with 4 seconds left, and if they make both free throws, I'm not going to cover.
So Shiloh Jackson, I'm looking at it here, Spoon. Shiloh Jackson, he is the leading scorer on the team. He hasn't played the last 4. Now you're saying you think he plays tomorrow. What
I've seen multiple reports from people around the team that say he will play this week.
Go.
They have a game on the 5th and a game on the 7th. St. Francis is the second worst team in all of college basketball, I believe, in net rankings. So if you're going to bring him back for one of these games, they're sitting 6-2 in conference right now. Still have a chance at the top of this conference. You're going to want him for this Wagner game. This is a game that potentially lost. That St. Francis game is not one. So I think it just sets up well for him to come back in. I think if he comes back in, this closes really well. And I believe Lemoyne can win without him. Wagner's not a good basketball team. They played Lemoyne really tough at home. That was a game without Shiloh Jackson already. Lemoyne showed they could win by 2 there. I think they can do it again. That was a game where Lemoyne won the game while shooting 38% from the field. The level of defense they play versus what Wagner is just hugely different if you look over at CBB analytics.
All right, I'm going to take Lemoyne, and hopefully we get Shiloh Jackson, but judging by what you said, seems like I could very well win this bet with or without Shiloh Jackson. All right, I'm in. Lemoyne. Let's do it. I actually just played a -135 money line, to be honest.
I have a -2 110 ticket.
There you go. You can get a -2.5 plus 100, it looks like right now. But if Shiloh Jackson's rolled in, based on what you said, that it should go up over a possession. We'll see.
That line will move very fast if we see something. It probably won't be till after lunchtime tomorrow by the time that news comes out.
Right. Merrimack, Mount St. Mary's is up next. Who would like to talk about this one?
This is a me game. I have Merrimack -3.5, -105. Merrimack might be the best team in this conference. It's up for debate still, but Mount St. Mary's is definitely not one of the best teams. They have a decent home court advantage. That's why this number sits where it's at. Merrimack and Mount St. Mary's already played earlier this season. Merrimack won 75-65. That was in Merrimack's building, and that's been a really tough court to win on the last couple of years. At first, I was looking for a way to just try to get there with Mount St. Mary's, but I think this line is short. I think Mount St. Mary's is going to lose this game by a couple of possessions, and Merrimack should be laying 5.5. If we look just in KenPom's number, they have this a 64-68 game. I don't agree with that. Merrimack has the best player on the floor. They have a defense that gave Mount St. Mary's all sorts of troubles. This zone is not like anything anybody else in this conference runs, and I think it's going to be an issue tomorrow. I think Merrimack opens this game up again.
Judging by what the CBB analytics charts here, points should be at a premium. Both these teams have stronger defenses than offenses, and I don't know if I'm reading this right. Does that say 62.9 possessions per game for Merrimack? They're one of the slowest paced teams in the country, according to this. Toast, any thoughts on this one or no?
It would only be Merrimack for me as well.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next game. And the next game is West Virginia, Cincinnati. Okay, let's talk some Big 12. I actually haven't really watched much of either team, though. I've watched a lot of the Big 12. I haven't watched most West Virginia or Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a respectable defense, if I remember correct. Oh, yeah. 128 total. I'm assuming when I pull this up on CBB Analytics, I'm going to see 2 very slow paces and 2 good defenses, right?
Yes. Yes, for the most part, yeah.
All right.
Especially West Virginia, especially their last few games. They've been playing very, very well, especially defensively.
Well, 6 is kind of a big, all right, I just pulled it out. Actually, Cincinnati's pace isn't that slow, but based on what I'm looking at here.
No, they're in like the top 75, top 80-ish, if you're looking at those numbers, or looking at like KenPom and stuff numbers. Yeah,
they're actually run a pretty fast pace, but I see what we're looking at is right here. Defensive rating, West Virginia, a 100.3, 93rd percentile in the country. Cincinnati, 96th percentile. So both of these.
Sorry.
You just
Lay
cover?
up at the buzzer. Stanford covers. Mwah.
Damn.
Please continue. That's all I care about. I am so sorry. God, that feels good.
Yeah, you're having a good one. If only your freaking Gonzaga can play a little defense.
They spoon-fed you 5 in a row. I've told you guys since day one.
No, it's the fact that how does Portland score 80? If Gonzaga cooked our under, okay. Portland?
Yo, the team's broken. I have no excuses for that trash. Unbelievable.
So what do you think about this one here? Is the 128 total justified?
I don't know about the total. I really want to bet on Cincinnati. I don't know if I really can do it here. Obviously, I mean, as you've seen and as we've talked about many times in this on this show about how bad Cincinnati's offense is, but their defense is one of the best in the country, and I don't say that lightly. Their defense is very, very good. And if you look at what you have with Cincinnati, is that they've also, when they have played at home, and they've actually played pretty damn well at home, they've won games and they're covering this number. They beat Baylor, they beat Iowa State, they beat Colorado, just as far as in Big 12 play is concerned. So West Virginia has also some very good losses. Obviously, the Big 12 is a very good conference. So I'm not trying to make a case that West Virginia hasn't played anybody on the road, yada, yada, yada. Both of these teams have played a good schedule. But I think that Cincinnati being home, excuse me, and off of playing defenses like Iowa State and Arizona and Houston, I think that seeing West Virginia's defense isn't going to be a breath of fresh air, but it's not going to nearly look as intimidating, especially after you just seen a defense like Houston. So I had Cincinnati -5.5 circled. I don't know if I actually bet it. If it's going up to 6 or whatever, it would just be a pass.
It doesn't. It looks like, so this says 6, which means when I made these graphics, there was a 6 on Pinnacle. But it looks like Pinnacle took their line down for this one, because I'm only seeing 5.5 now. So I'm not sure if it's going up to 6.
When I went into this, I was hoping like under 5. So I did say 5.5, but again, I would rather be under 5, just to be specific.
Spoon, what are your thoughts on this one? Two defensive teams, totals at 127.5. Someone mentioned in the comment that these two teams played a 62-60 game earlier in the season.
Yeah.
So would have stayed under the total.
Points are going to be at a premium. I lean West Virginia just because of that reason. Cincinnati has definitely shown the ability to play really well at home. And if we look at West Virginia, they barely hit the road at all this season. They won their only winnable road game. They weren't going to win versus Iowa State, Houston, or Arizona. So an Arizona State test versus Cincinnati, I definitely have Cincinnati as the better team there. But I think West Virginia can hang in this game. They're one of those teams, I think they can play with anybody in the Big 12 on one of their better nights. It's just one of those inconsistent teams. You don't really know that you're going to get their best effort every time. And Cincinnati in this gym has shown up. A huge win versus Iowa State, beat Colorado, beat Baylor. I just kind of want to sell on that. I'm not in love with this Cincinnati team this year. I don't have enough conviction to actually move on it yet.
Yeah, I don't really like that one. Interesting game, but I don't.
And that game in West Virginia was kind of wild. It went back and forth at the end too. I think Cincinnati gave up I don't know how big of a lead, but
possession.
UNC Wilmington's home against William and Mary. Spoon, you've talked about this UNC Wilmington team several times this year, so I'm assuming you clicked this one.
I did not.
Wow,
this is a toast game.
Toast selected Wilmington.
Yo, let's get it on. I actually bet this too. I bet the 4.5 with UNC Wilmington here. I think this is a really good spot for them. I think that William, and I'm not trying to make any remarks about William and Mary. It is what it is. But they lost. UNC Wilmington was their only loss since December 20th was against this William and Mary team. And William and Mary kind of dominated that game. They got up, but at the same time, they got off to a 30-8 lead at the start of this game. And then, so pretty much everything after that, it is whatever. They ended up losing that game by 7. I just have a hard time believing that happens again. I think UNC Wilmington is by far the best team in this league. I think they're much better than Charleston personally. I actually think they win this game by double digits. Like I said, I've already bet this game. So hopefully I'm not missing anything, Spoon, because you know these teams probably a little bit better than me, but I did bet this.
So Circa opened up 4.5, has since moved to 5. We're actually seeing 5.5s now. So it looks like the early indication is you may have made a good decision here. Spoon, what are your thoughts? I know you're familiar with this Wilmington team.
This is a really interesting game. Two of the better teams in this CAA. Wilmington only has those 3 losses, and if we look at a common denominator for those 3 teams, is they play with a bunch of high tempo, high pace. William and Mary, Howard, and Kent State. Obviously, this is going to be the same William and Mary roster that played Wilmington. Neither team was facing injuries, and they're both still pretty healthy here. Brian Earl is a really good coach. I like his ability to punch up, but I feel like he probably already blew his surprise there with that UNC Wilmington win at home. I think it's going to be a much tougher game. I just couldn't lay the number with Wilmington because they haven't shown the ability to beat a team that plays with this kind of pace. And Brian Earl's teams always will just push the tempo. Just lost the game 104-96 in their last time out without overtime. So I know there's going to be an uncomfortable pace for UNC Wilmington for at least half of this ball game, and I just don't know if they can be successful with it. I think they're the best team in the conference. I like them to win this game, but I'm not ready to do it by 2 possessions.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to tell you to your toes. I'm looking at this, and what I would like to see with a slow-paced team against a fast-paced team is they don't turn the ball over, limit those opportunities to get out in transition. They also, according to this, should win the rebounding battle on both sides. They seem to be the significantly better rebounding team.
You they've seen the pace that Spoon was talking about. They've seen William and Mary's best fastball, as you would say. And those other games, as far as pace is concerned, the Kent State game was the second game of the year, and Howard was December 20th. And I think, and then I just feel like they'll be at home. They're going to be able to shut this thing down and keep it minimal possessions. And if they're able to do that and not turn the ball over, they should win this game by double digits. Again, we'll see what happens, but.
Yes, and
William and Mary got out to a 30-8 run in that last game. If you take that out of the game, Wilmington wins that handily. It's definitely gonna be a big test.
I was gonna say, I'm telling you, I spent like 15-20 minutes on this.
I told you, I'm in. -4.5. I'm in. Betting some. I don't even remember the one I tailed from Spoon. I'm telling some really ugly ones here. Lemoyne. Oh yeah, went back to Lemoyne. Ohio State, Maryland. Okay. This is kind of a short number. Ohio State's pretty good, and Maryland's not, but it is Ohio State on the East Coast here against the Terps.
Yeah, I really like Ohio State here. I want it at 6.5 if I can get it. Look, Maryland has a lot of issues going on in that program. I don't even know how long Buzz Williams is going to be there, but they are just not a good basketball team. And yes, you can make an argument that, losing at home to Purdue isn't that bad, but I mean, Oregon, Indiana. I mean, those are not, good basketball teams. And I think that Ohio State is better than both those basketball teams, and including Indiana. And I know that Indiana is ranked higher than them, but Ohio State's another one of these teams, kind of like Oklahoma State, where I still feel like if you look at the games that they have lost, it's really not that bad. And I think that we're going to start looking at a buy low situation with them. And here they are off of losing 2 of their last 3, one of them to Michigan. And then they go on and they lose to Wisconsin by 10 on the road. But I mean, Wisconsin was shot pretty well in that game. I just feel like you have Ohio State in a spot where they have Michigan at home and USC at home right here. So if they can get the job here, I'm not saying they're going to win against Michigan, but if they can get the job done here, that puts them in a pretty decent place, in the Big Ten Conference, that put them in the middle. And then if Iowa were to lose tonight, that's going to put them even a game up on Iowa as well. So they can really move up in the standings with a nice couple wins here. I think Ohio State wins this game by double digits.
Well, just quick glance here. 151.5 feels high, and I'm looking at this, and Maryland's pace isn't exactly slow, 67.7 possessions a game. But look at the other side of this graphic here. So, okay, it's not exactly that they play they're the slowest paced teams in the world, but check this out. Neither of these teams score fast break points. Points in the fast break, we're talking about 7.2 points per game for Ohio State, just 6.1. So neither of these teams get out and run like that. They're not exactly the slowest paced teams in terms of how slowly they run their offense when they set it up. But in terms of getting out and running in transition, neither of these teams score fast break points, according to this. What about the 3 ball? Do they shoot a lot of threes maybe? Okay, so
neither.
Yeah, Maryland shoots a lot. They just don't hit many.
Yeah, I was going to say neither one of them are very good.
So why not under here? Spoon, what are your thoughts?
I lean Ohio State in this game. They just got Christoph Tilley back, their big man. I'm not a huge Ohio State basketball fan. We've gone over this, but Maryland's pretty bad. This roster, really going through it. Buzz Williams is pulling all the strings. If we look at the starting lineups that he's put out there the last few games, 3 different lineups the last 5 games. This is really tough. I can't get behind Maryland in any way. I think Ohio State has the roster to be able to separate in this game. I'm not going to bet on it, though. It is Ohio State on the East Coast, but Ohio State lives in an East Coast time zone. I mean, it's not bad travel or anything.
It looks like the number has come down mostly to 6.5. Circa still has a 7. They opened at 7, 151.5, and haven't moved. Nah.
Ohio State added Puff Johnson, by the way. I was watching a game the other day. I was like, where did this come from?
Isn't that awesome?
Who's that?
He's been around.
How many teams do you play for now?
North Carolina, Penn State, Ohio State.
Yep, that's it. So 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
So who are you saying? Who are you saying is back for Ohio State? Christoph Tilley?
Yeah, he's their big man who did nothing their last game. That shit ain't gonna happen again.
Wait, but it doesn't look like he really missed. Oh, did he just miss one game then?
Yeah, he missed one game. Yeah.
Oh, so this isn't a guy that's been out for a while. He missed one game, and he didn't do shit against Wisconsin. Oh my God, just 3 rebounds, 0 of 8 from the floor. And is Maryland's big guy still hurt?
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. Let's take the -6.5 then, right?
Yeah, that's what I had that circled. Ohio
State has their 7-footer, and Maryland's center has been out for like a month now.
Yep.
All right, so
a lot of DNPs next to Mr. Pharrell Payne.
Pharrell Payne is the guy's name who got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when he got hurt because I bet Maryland in the game where he got hurt against Michigan, and Maryland was winning at halftime, and then he got hurt. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm never betting this Maryland team again. They were so bad.
Still covered that game, though, just for the record.
Oh, yeah, they held on. I had plus 19. I had plus 19.5. They lost by 19 exactly. But I remember sitting there watching, like, if I get this cover, I will never bet Maryland again until this guy's back from injury. Let's go. Oh, damn it.
I might tell you on that.
That's crazy.
I'm in.
Spoon tailing toast with Ohio State.
I know.
World.
Spoon, who is?
What a world.
I'm switching the graphic. I took the Buckeyes. -6.5. This says -7. You can get 6.5. Don't take 7. All right. Next up, just a few games left. Santa Barbara. Oh, this is probably toast. He likes talking about these UC teams.
I think this might be Spoon. I might have clicked it. I think it's Spoon, though.
Is it?
No, I clicked this one.
Okay,
this is Santa Barbara for me.
Okay, go ahead.
Pull up my line real quick. If we look at these teams in conference, both of them play pretty fast pace. UC Davis plays much faster, though. Santa Barbara has a much better offense. The defenses are really comparable. I just don't see how UC Davis stays with the Santa Barbara team over the course of 70 possessions, 68 possessions of this full game. These two teams have already met this season. UC Davis. And
93-86.
That's Santa Barbara game, 93-86. UC Davis played one of their best games, shot 65% from 2, 40% from 3. This is a team that has a bad offense, an effective field goal percentage that sits under 51% for the entire season. I don't expect them to be able to put that kind of offensive shooting night together again. Santa Barbara is a much better offense. I think this is one where they get back at them. This is a team now that has won 6 in a row, beat a really good Hawaii team. I think that was a really tough home win, and I think this is a spot where UC Davis is just overvalued after that first game.
This is another one where the graphic says 3. You can get 2.5, so don't take 3. Toast?
And
Yeah,
2.5 minus 106.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the first game was kind of crazy to be honest. That's a very high scoring game, especially for a UC Santa Barbara team that's really doesn't like to get up and go, especially as far as pace is concerned. But neither one of these defenses is very good at all. So both of these teams just have trouble turning it over. I just agree with Spoon. I just think that UC Santa Barbara is a significantly better team, and to get this under 4. I thought was a steal. So I had them circled as well. I haven't bet it, but I know Kyle loves the Gauchos himself. So
they have a very cool logo. And I don't usually like the best sports logos are simple logos. Those are the best branding. This one is a little bit too complex for my liking, but this happens to be the more cool. This is the coolest complex logo. That's
sick. I love that logo.
What is a Gaucho? Like a bandit? He's like a bandit. He's like he's about to rob somebody or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. All right, next game up is Jacksonville State, Western Kentucky.
He's traditionally a nomadic horseman, for the record.
That's what a Gaucho is?
Yeah.
A nomadic horseman. So a horseman that roams from town to town, and I suppose he robs people?
Didn't say anything about robberies, but
did you see that guy's face? He's about to commit a crime.
I mean, yeah, it does look like that, yeah.
Spoon, I'm assuming you're going to hit us with some Conference USA ball here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite games on the board tomorrow. We have Ray Harper, really good coach for Jacksonville State. He coached a long time at Western Kentucky, and Western Kentucky used to be in a different conference. 3 years ago, they came over to Conference USA, and now he gets to play his old team every season. And Jacksonville State has had a pretty good team this year. They had a really good team last year, and they swept Western Kentucky. I know that was a big deal for Ray Harper. I know he was excited about it. And it was Western Kentucky's coach's first year over there. I think this is just a game that means so much more to Ray Harper. I think his team is better this year, and I think we're getting him in a nice buy low situation off that Missouri State loss. Western Kentucky coming off a win versus Middle Tennessee. I think this is one of the teams that's going to finish towards the bottom in this conference. They had just rallied off 4 losses before that win. I think this is a perfect buy low, sell high scenario. We get a Jacksonville State team that I honestly think wins this game at 4.5 even money. So Jacksonville State plus 4.5. I'll probably wind up on the money line. I'm kind of just gauging to see where that will wind up.
It looks like I see 3.5s now. There are 4.5 still. But it looks like actually Circa's still sitting at 4.5, so maybe not. But there's some 3.5s as well. Toast, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I did. I did lean the other side. Spoon knows these conferences way better than I do, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But when I was looking at this game, I get the buy low spot for Jacksonville State. I can't argue that. But I also think that it's a little bit of a buy low for Western Kentucky as well. I mean, obviously they're coming off that Middle Tennessee game, but those 4 losses that you talked about, 2 of them were the top 2 teams in the country, our conference, with Liberty and Sam Houston. And then obviously Kennesaw State has their number, but even Kennesaw State is significantly better than Jacksonville State. Maybe not. I mean, I'm not talking like maybe 3 or 4 points better, but at least 2 points better. It would only be the home team for me, but I don't know about the rivalries and all that stuff. So I'm just kind of looking at it like Ken Palm Cabin.
All right. Last game on the board, and that game is Memphis UAB.
This was me kicking myself for not betting Tulane. I don't know if I would have bet them on the money line, but I think they were like 9.5 point favorites, or dogs against Memphis, and just kind of kicking myself. This will be UAB for me. Memphis is a pretty simple strategy for me when I'm betting them. For me to bet Memphis, they're going to have to be at home, and they're going to have to be a close dog or a small dog or a small favorite, like in between the 3s. But anything out of that, especially on the road this season, they have not been a team that you can trust at all. And I would actually argue that UAB is probably, I mean, Florida Atlantic and UAB are pretty similar, but I think this is like a little bit of a step up in competition for Memphis as well. And not to mention the fact, like I said, on the road, they've been absolutely terrible. And I actually think that this is like a little bit of a buy low situation with UAB because they just had two really bad home games against Tulsa and South Florida. Both those teams significantly better than Memphis. And they go out on the road, get two big wins, especially a big win against North Texas. I think they come home and beat up on Memphis, a team that obviously cannot play on the road.
It's -2 now. Oh man,
it's -1.5.
Okay.
There are a couple twos, but there's 1.5s out there. I think Spoon's going to disagree because he's on record saying UAB's home environment it sucks, right?
Yeah. So I don't think it's just a debate. Like if we look at their last home game, South Florida they lost. The game before that, Tulsa they lost. Before that, FAU they lost. Before that, Wichita State they lost. You can argue that those are some of the better teams in this conference, but they have to play Memphis tomorrow. And Memphis at the beginning of the season, everybody would have said was one of the top teams in this conference. So if you're arguing that they're not, then I'm going to argue that it's a buy low on Memphis. This is a team coming into the season that had much higher expectations than where they're at. They have a really tough conference here in the AAC, and I don't know that Memphis will even sniff the tournament this year, but I think they'll at least finish out this conference year with some pride, and I think they're going to find some wins. I think this is a nice spot to get Memphis at plus money. I haven't been able to pull the trigger on this spot yet. Memphis did get Thedford back in the lineup. The last few games, it looks like he's fully healthy and starting again. Maybe that's a good turn for this team. I don't know. I don't have a really good pulse on Memphis this year, but I think UAB having a home advantage, laying 2 points to Memphis is just mispriced in my opinion. I don't love this spot, but I disagree with the number.
Yeah, I'll put Memphis up, but not betting this one. All right. Everybody, thanks for watching. Sorry for no NBA again tonight. We'll be back on track tomorrow. I put together most of the Super Bowl video. I got Gatorade color hit rates. I got all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had some fun.
Hell yeah.
And then so I did that, and I put the Super Bowl video together that I'm probably going to upload tomorrow night probably. And on top of that, the trade deadline, like I got to go into the back of my spreadsheet and just like adjust all the lineups now. So my NBA spreadsheet is also a mess that I need to do a bunch of work on. So yeah. By the way, Iowa is now up 8 out of nowhere. God,
I was going to say, I'm dead. Now I'm dead in the water. New Mexico's dead. Washington's dead.
Damn, back-to-back losing nights for me. All right, everybody.
Utah State.
Yeah.
You got me on the other side.
Spoons on Utah State. Everyone, have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you all.